Hello everyone and welcome to new video featuring Tybalt Marr. Um, well, I am a bit late with the video because I wanted to have a deck that is actually performing quite good, and since half of the month I didn't have that good mm, of a ranked season, and most of my decks stopped working, so I tried some new stuff. And I actually always wanted to play Sons of Horus, and before I played Ashuradon. But the point is that after the nerf, I think Ashuradon is worse than Marr, and by quite a big margin. Um, you have more troops that you can put out with Tybalt. They also have drop pod, so it's not bad. You can stack a lot of stats into the board because of the Mark of Chaos. While I think that Ashuradon is more aggro and in certain matchup can surely do better. I also think that with the current meta, Tybalt Marr is not bad at all. Also, I wanted to try Horus, but I don't have it. But I guess it would be pretty similar, maybe with a couple of changes. However, right now on 70 games, it has a 70% win rate, which is not bad, considering that no one is playing this guy. I maybe encountered one or two Tybalt Marr in 2 months, so it's not that played at all. And also, I really like the concept of Mark of Chaos, so if you also enjoy it, I suggest you to try it out, because I think with Horus is the one that makes the most use out of them, out of the Mark of Chaos. Um, and it's a pretty cool way of playing. Anyway, this is the deck. So Tybalt, the Battle Honor actually makes our start is grow bigger. Rarely you can put in play a Greater Demon, but it's not common at all because people are going to answer it. Sometimes if you pull the right Greater Demon, it's going to be amazing. Otherwise, maybe on an empty board you put Tishayal and you fucked it up. But it doesn't matter. It's like a free neat stuff that sometimes happen. Um, so for the package, I always go with two Horus lighter. I love this card. I was trying Merciless Fighter, and this card I think is really good. Because mainly you can play it with Catulan Rivers in endgame and maybe deal like 7 damage with 5 energy, which is not bad. Sometimes you can also put neat stuffs with Bazat Squad, maybe giving it 4 Mark of Chaos, like one from the Resolution effect, one from Tybalt Marr, the other one from Merciless Fighter, and then you at the end of the turn you have a Greater Demon. But you can swap it out, I don't think it's necessary. Avatar of the 4, I just got this card, is incredibly powerful, so fucking strong. This card is, I would argue that improves your win rate by 5%. Like, it's so good. Is that good, and against aggro matchups, when you can have Warbreaker out, it's incredible. It's way better than every other similar card in the format, because it also lasts for your opponent's turn. Then we have one copy of Furious Shooting. I think I didn't need that much burst, maybe but mainly because this is not a burst deck. It's not an aggro, it's a mid-range. But you can include a second copy, maybe you can take out one Merciless Fighter. Legionary Her is really good. Nothing like it, not great, but it's not bad at all, and you need flankers, so I think it's good. Bezat Squad, it's Really not like a good card, but it's not so great. It really depends on the mark of chaos it gets on the first turn it comes in. Like if it gets Nurgle, great. If it gets Zinch, great. With Korn and Slanesh, since you have only 3 toughness, it's going to be rough. But see, also because you have medium initiative, he's not an high initiative warlord. Also, this is one of the reasons why I think Ashuradon is so bad right now. Like, but it's not that it's bad, but I think the component in which he excelled before now is kind of average. Uh, because like medium initiative, no discount. Yeah, you can get +1 attack, but a lot of other warlord do it too. And actually, it's like sometimes it's not easy to pull off the spear tip because you are either going to like play suboptimal, especially in the late game because you can have only one. Um, so yeah, I really think that they should buff him a little bit. Like maybe give him back the high initiative or give him the discount, give him something because like well, he is still better than Abaddon, I think, but like it's completely uh, pointless to play him. Like Horus is so much better. I think also Tybalt Marr is so much better. Like you play different with these two warlords, uh, but like you're not aggro enough with Ashuradon anymore. I think. Anyway, back to the deck tech. The Chieftain Clathal, it's great. Very big body for a 3 energy guy. With a considering that he also has a 2/3 drop pod. Um, yeah, sometimes it just sits in your hand doing nothing, but apart from that, is really good. Like if you have 3 energy, throw it in, or maybe you have 2 energy and you have a Horus Lighter, you just go and play it. As Dryas support, you can go for the second copy. I had 2 copies, but at the end I cut one. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's a 3 drop and you don't have many, so it's a must include. Like if they had another 3 drop that is kind of good, I would play it, but they don't, so this is what we got. Then we have Asmodeal Squad. This guy is not bad, especially like in some matchup versus Arcan Land versus Proctor. This guy can be amazing. I originally had 2 copies. Now I take out one for the Spreading Corruption, which was suggested by a friend of mine. But you can go for 2 copies. I think it's neat card. Shame that it's like if it was a 5/3 instead of a 4/3, I didn't have the battle honor, it would be so much better. But you can't have it all, I guess. Then we have Catulan Rivers, great card, needs no explanation, I think. Legendary Solgas sometime let you hit something with your warlord and trigger the battle honor, since it gives him +1/+0. It's a really good card. Nothing more to say. Spreading Corruption, I tried it a little bit. I think it's good. It's not the best card, I think, in this deck by any stretch of the imagination, but the fact that it gives the stat boost also with the Mark of Chaos makes even Ajax squad become incredibly good, like 4/3, 5/4. Like it's not bad. I thought worse. Chieftain squad, it's great. Big body and Mark of Chaos to what you put in play, which sometimes is a Catular Rivers and they get the Mark of Corn and they do 6 damage. Yeah, not don't expect him to live. Like every time I play this get killed immediately because it's a must answer threat. But if he stays, it's going to be good. One crash the week because I think we need some kind of removal. Ekron Fall is just a big butt, and also sometimes if you really need to do 2 damage, you can activate Tybalt Marr, and the IX squad will have flank, so you can save yourself 2 health. Then we have Axo Squad. Again, I don't think this needs no explanation. It's a really strong card. 2 Onosias. This is questionable, I think. Like, I really like this card. I like stuns. I like the fact that it's a 7/5. But you can also play something else instead of this. Like, I mainly put this in for the stun, of course, because I think that's not that many people tech against stun, and in some matchups can save your ass. Mainly like solo warlords, like for example in the Abomination matchup this guy is really good. Lupercal Pursuivant, yeah, 6 damage to the face almost always. If you put it on a troop, you already lost, so it's really good. Overseer Ludark, it's just a very big body for 6 energy, and yeah, nothing more really. Like maybe it's a 7/8 for 6 energy. It's fine like that. Like don't expect also this card to live that much, but if he lives and you have a turn in which you play maybe Chieftain Squad and Hero Power, oh boy, the amount of stats this guy puts on the board is amazing. And then World Breaker, because this is maybe, I wouldn't say the best legendary they have, but it's really strong. Like, this card is amazing, and makes some matchups also winnable, because otherwise you wouldn't be able to win. So yeah, just put World Breaker in. At first I didn't put World Breaker in my decks, because 7 energy is a little bit too much. Then I realized how powerful this is, and never left home without it again. Anyway, let's hop into some matchups. I saved some, I think. Okay, one against Cargos, one against Genesia, and the last one was against Infernus. Okay, let's see the Infernus Abomination first, because it's not an easy matchup. Like, you're going to lose most of the time, but I think it's like that for most decks, except Arcan Land, because Arcan is broken. Anyway, we keep the Legendary Her because you could play the Dectonian Strategos, so this is not bad to have. And also we can kill the... we can deal 3 damage with to the Broadmaster if he plays it. Then you really want to focus on... Unfortunately, this is not a very good hand. Like, Avatar of the 4 is amazing, but apart from that, we don't really have much going on. Always attack the 2/2, because otherwise he's going to kill it with the cleave. Okay, 3/4, it's not bad. Unfortunately, he's going to kill it anyway, but we need to play something, because otherwise we are dead. Okay, he wants to make this a 5/5. It's not great. It's not that bad also, like we are still 27. At this point we can go for the Merciless Fighter, and let me explain why. Like, in any case, Merciless Fighter gives +1/+0, and also each of the marks increase the damage by 1, each of them. So doesn't really matter. Maybe Nurgle would have been better because he would have one less energy on his turn, but like the fact is that this guy now is a 5/3 for 3 energy is not bad at all, and also we can counter attack and hero power if we want to. But I think I will keep it for the Warbreaker, maybe. No, I use it. Like next turn we have Soul Gas plus Hero Power if we want. It's not that bad. Also we have we still have Crush the Weak for the Blood Master if he plays it. This is a lot of damage. Also one of the reasons I like Arbus Lighter is because of these matchups. Like sometimes you get Arbus Lighter and you get the 2 health back and it's so good. That's not so bad. Another 4 to the face. Like we are running very low on health. Especially now. Like if he has the Corn favor card, I think we are almost dead, if not dead completely. It's not great. So at this point I decided, okay, let's scare him a little bit, and also make it that he has to think twice on how low does he want to go, because I could have Catulan Rivers and he already saw that I'm playing the Merciless Fighter, so it's not impossible for a Catulan to deal like 6 damage. At the very least he's going to do 6 damage. And now we can play the Warbreaker. Now this is the only way I think you can beat Abomination. Like you have Warbreaker on curve, otherwise it's just lost. Okay, we can answer this, but also we can. This was a stupid mistake because I won. No. I really thought I did the opposite thing, but maybe he plays another one later. Okay, no, it's alright. I was mistaken with another game in which he played one and I played the other one, and I had Warbreaker, and I misplayed because I played. I attacked and then play Habitat of Thor, so take 2 unnecessary damage. Let's see against Genesia. So Genesia is not easy, but it's not that bad either. We will keep the Warbreaker.
Only in silence one can hear the
like
truth.
the fact is that Genesia can really put out a lot of damage and control the board really well. Which is a thing that for us it's not easy to do at the opposite, because we don't have many flankers. We have some fast troops, but I don't play Death Dealers, I don't play a lot of other cards. I don't have any board clear. Another thing you might wonder is why I don't play any anti-stealth card. Okay, so now we keep this here because I want him, like, if he wants to take out the Bazat squad, now he has to think also about this guy that will still be here, and I hope that I have something to deal with what he drops now, because he will drop something and he will kill my Bazat squad, I think, almost 100%. Okay, he doesn't. But that's my experience with Troll, is always like, he kills your stuff. Okay, that's not great. But, like, we can go for Spreading Corruption now. Really, here, the Slanesh was the best outcome. Also, Nurgle was fine, wasn't bad. Now we get another one. This was pretty lucky, but with Nurgle it would have been for 7. It still has 3 health, so it's not that bad. Unfortunately, we don't have any good way of killing Kaisulena unless we draw the stuff, the Furious shooting. Okay, at this point there is no reason like to trade the Catular Rivers for this. I never saw anyone play this card, so I was pretty like I need to check it out because I didn't know what it does. But we have the answer. Problem is that we really don't have anything. Like our hand is pretty slow now. But maybe we can climb it back a little bit. This is annoying. I think it's mainly attack against Abomination and Lord of Plagues. I think Lord of Flies thing. Again, like in this situation, he is going always to deal 4 damage, so we can kind of don't care and kill it. Like maybe if we got the Bark of Corn, we wouldn't have to bash our face. Still, it's not bad. So now it's World Breaker time. I decided to kill this instead of the Ice Serpents because even if this does 1 more damage to my Chieftain squad eventually, I really want, like, if he buffs it survives 1 attack, so it can attack twice, and yeah, I have a lot of health, but Sisters of Silence always seem to like put out a lot of burst really quickly, so I prefer to do it this way. That's unfortunate. That's really unfortunate. Okay. This was an incredible misplay because I was like light-headed and I played this before on Osias and I wanted to stun the Silver Osprey. So this was a terrible mistake on my part. Like, this should have cost me the game actually. And now we get 2 health back. Like otherwise I would have stunned the Silver Osprey and killed the Ice Serpents. So now I'm clinging on my life. This is really bad. I fell into it completely. Yeah, it's not a great situation, I would say. Oh, that's good. So we can do the full combo, like 10 damage, and we still have a lot of stuff on the board and we are invulnerable. So at this point there is not a lot of stuff he can put that saves him. I guess the 4/4 that puts the 3/5 is one of the only cards that will save him. Or this one if he gets lucky. Actually, the maximum kill now is 3, so this card was nerfed, but it's still so good. And let's see, another one versus Cargos. So in this case we have to be the control, the opposite of how you play with Genesia. So in this case, Overseer Blue Dark is just too slow, I think. Furious Shooting and Legionary Her are great. We are lucky because we get to start. Also not starting with a V5 shifting Clathal at turn 1 is pretty impressive. This card is so annoying. Like, it's so good, but it's so annoying. Okay. I opted to kill this and actually try to buff the Aya squad. Like, here actually anything besides Slanesh was fine. Now he uses the counter attack, I think, yes. So yes, this is annoying, to say the least. So there are a couple of choices you can have now, like you can Furious Shooting and put the Ajax squad. But like this is going to die next turn anyway, like he attacks and is a 5-2 after Cargo's buff, so like this is only like a one-time use card, like it's not going to stay there for like 5 turns. So I think having something that I actually can buff, that he can't take out, and yeah, that can threaten his board, I think it's better. That's annoying. I didn't expect actually this turn of events. Okay, so let's put this guy in, buff it, and let's see what happens. At this point we can draw a card because like these are not great in this situation. Ah, the Nargol is nice. He's taking a lot of damage, by the way. Like Cargos is one of the few instances where like it's like he's very squishy, even if he doesn't seem so, he's very squishy. That's annoying. Like this cannot attack because if this attack we lost basically, so 7 health is a little bit too much. This was a really good draw. So now we can go for her plus dash and actually also buff our Soulcast. Corn is not the best, but anyway. Now it would be amazing to draw Deonosias. Okay, this would maybe seem a little bit of an odd play because I'm taking 8 to the face, but I thought, like, I don't think he has much left to take this out. Like, we already saw one Vicious Strike and the Tishaya. By the way, you can play the Tishaya if you want in this deck. That's not great, but we have little, so it doesn't matter. Lupercal Pursuant is just so good, really good card. It's not as good as some other cards in like the ship's card, like I think the Ultramarines one is better, but like 6 damage is a lot. It's really a lot. Anyway, let's see what else can you put in the deck. So first thing first, if you have it, because I don't have it, put this guy in, because it's amazing and it's maybe one of the best 2-drops in the game. So yeah, like if I would have it, I would put it in 100%. So if you have it, go ahead. You could play the second copy of Ezra Support, but I really don't think it's that good. You can play the Dealers, it's actually a good card. You can play... I think this is too slow. You could play the frontline guy, the Justarian Elite, but I think 8 is really heavy for this deck. Like anyway, like against Abomination, you are not going to last until turn 8. So, like if you need a frontline, you need a quicker frontline, but you don't have any, so it's not that easy. I don't think that this deck really plays well with Maloburst. The mission, I don't think it's a good idea, because it's slow, takes out a card of your starting hand. 10 times giving a Mark of Chaos is actually really hard, I think, in a normal game. And also the outcome is just not that good anyway. About neutral cards, of course you could play anti-stealth. I think that after the nerf to Night Lords, almost nobody plays stealth cards, so yeah, like I don't want to sacrifice my list to bring Urban Warfare if I already know that in top 50 I'm not going to see almost any stealth troop at all. So like slowly I'm starting to swap a little bit of anti-stealth out of my decks. Like before I usually played like 2 or 3 anti-stealth cards. Now I play 1, maybe 2, maybe 0. Like it really depends on the kind of deck. Like the only thing is when you encounter the Avatar, it's going to be not that great, but like what can you do? Like you either like you maybe have a dead card in 90% of your games, or because like Urban Warfare, like it's not bad, it's a really great card for anti-stealth, but like I really don't want to play this in Sons of Horus. I don't know why, and I would not for sure play the Call of Cowardice because it's too slow and you need to put stuff into play. But maybe you can forgo 1 Argus Lighter for 1 Urban Warfare. I don't think it changes that much, but it will make the Abomination matchup significantly worse, I think, because it's, I don't know, like sometimes giving him the Bloodmaster is just asking to lose the game. Anyway, other things you can play, well, there really isn't much. I think you can play Tishayal for sure, but like I think your curve is kind of okay in this way. You can play the 7-drop, but I don't think it's worth it. You can play a Drilling Sight, but since they don't work with Spear Tip, like I don't think they're great. You can play Malkial for sure. I don't think I needed him, but it's always a great card. And then yes, there isn't much else I would recommend you play. Yeah, there isn't really that much else. Like, maybe you can also go for command bridge, but I really don't think it's necessary. Like, you have 2 or 3 tactics if you use it to fight Warbreaker, okay, but you're losing a troop because you're playing this. Like, this is the point. Like, when it costed 1 energy, you could slot it in every deck without even thinking about it. With 2 energy, becomes a little bit rough, especially when your curve is kind of tight. Maybe a cool tech could be Corrupting Influence. Actually, they decrease the cost, so maybe someone will give this a try one day or another. And yeah, I don't think there is really that much else to say and to eventually put in. I don't think this card is good, even if it works with Mark of Chaos. Second Furious Shooting you can actually very well put in. Conquering Ghost, I don't think it's great. I think it's better in Ashuradon because you can play the spear tip guy to buff them. Yeah, like I would love to play this guy because the art is amazing and it's so fucking cool, but it's too slow. Like 7 energy is impossible to justify without a front line at least. So yeah, I don't think any other there is anything more to say. But anyway, give this a try. Like, it's a really cool deck. It's pretty funny. Like, sometimes you put very big stuff on the board. Of course, you have to struggle because you face bash a lot, and sometimes you have to go aggro. But like this card, this guy is the nemesis of Proctor. I think has a not a good matchup, but an even matchup with the Arcan Land. I actually managed to win some against Arcan, so it's not bad. The problem is when you encounter like Abomination. I think also Angron is not a bad matchup because you don't rely on face bashing to do damage at all. So except with Warbreaker at least. So I think like this guy has a better matchup against Angron than Ashuradon, and actually you can like it's pretty flexible as a character and as a list. I think can play with pretty much everything. The only problem is Abomination and also Lord of Flies is not that easy, but I played like twice. It's also not that bad. A thing that really fucks you because you have no hard board clear is the Baleful Assembly. Like sometimes you see these decks with the Baleful Assembly, but you can't deal damage fast enough for this to not go off. So in this case, if you encounter a lot of decks with the Baleful Assembly, maybe consider to swap to Ashuradon because it deals way more damage than Marr. But Marr has more staying power, so it really depends on the meta which one is better. Like if Baleful Assembly becomes a thing, I actually wouldn't even play Ashuradon. Maybe play like Board Eaters or something else. But anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and see you next time.